for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's up guys, Venomfire here back with another video, and today we bring you guys another blitz in Madden 21. You guys always love when I bring you guys some blitzes, so we're going to show another kind of unique one that I haven't talked about out of a pretty relatively unique formation as well that's not too used this year. You'll see a couple guys here and there use it, but overall I do think it can be pretty good just going along with this blitz. And if you guys like running some off-meta stuff, this would be a pretty good formation to run. So hopping straight into it, we're going to be in the 3-4 odd. Now 3-4 odd is in a lot of playbooks. I think I'm in New York Jets today, but it is in a lot of playbooks. So you can just go through, look for yourself. It probably is in your playbook. But again, I don't have a list of all the 20 that are actually in. As far as your zone drops are concerned, to start off, I'm going to go with flats at around 10 yards. Now, this might be adjusted depending on the particular setup. I'm going to actually show a blitz, and then I'll probably show a buff blitz as well. That's probably where we are going to adjust our zone drops a little bit, but of course, I will let you know. Now, we're in the 3-4 odd, as I mentioned. The first thing you're going to do for the blitz is you want your fastest outside linebacker, your fastest linebackers in general at the outside linebacker spot. Thankfully, with Jacksonville here, we already have these two fastest guys right here on the outside, 88 speed and 87 speed, respectively, I think. As far as your user is concerned, you can just get two good users. We're going to be using this guy right here, Quincy Williams. He is around 87 speed as well, so that works out pretty well for us. Again, you can just get your best defensive backs. Doesn't matter if they're corners or safeties like we have here. And the actual play that we're going to run is going to be pinch dog to press. Now, my face cam is actually showing it, so we'll just move it over. There you see pinch dog to press. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You could actually, I think, run this setup out of any play, but we're going to rock with the cover 2 shell today. So that's the reason we're running pinch dog to press. Of course, auto flip doesn't really matter. The formation is symmetrical. We're just going to move our camera back there. There we go. And on offense, I'm just going to run out of gun trips tight end. I usually go with bunch, but we're going to mix it up. A lot of you guys said you want to see some other formations, so we're just going to go with a gun trips tight end look. All right, guys, here we are out on the field now. Let's hop into the adjustments. They're pretty simple if you ask me. But what we're going to do is actually be running a 6-man blitz, and we're actually going to find a way to get 2 people free against a 5-man protection. So we rush 6 against 5, and we get 2 rushers free. Overall, it's going to be pretty solid when you consider the fact that if they block the running back, you should still have an extra rusher getting home. So what we're going to do is, first thing you're going to do is base align your defense. That's going to be Y and that left stick to the right, Y or triangle, of course. The next thing that you're going to do is pinch your linebackers. That's going to be D-pad to the right and down on that left analog stick. The next thing you're going to do is just pinch, or actually rather blitz all linebackers. That's going to be D-pad to the right again and down on the right stick now. And the last thing I like to do is usually press. Now, when I press, I don't like this guy being on the line of scrimmage, so we're just going to kind of move him back a little bit, but this is kind of what it should look like now. If I want to, I can, of course, move this guy back a little bit. But we have our flat set to around 10 yards. Of course, you've got to kind of bank on getting pressure here. It's an aggressive defense. Now, we're just going to run it relatively stock for the first play. Our stock Tampa 2 cover 2 shell. Again, we'll be adjusting this a little bit, maybe manning up different players. You'll see what we do a little bit later. But the last thing that you're actually going to do with your user is you're going to put him on a little QB spy. I feel like that helps kind of pull the guys inside just a little bit. I'm referring to the offensive guard. You will see when it's all said and done. We hop into the replay, but yeah, you notice that this is all I'm doing. I'm not QB containing as you might expect. QB containing, I feel like, only works out of certain formations, and this is one of the particular formations where you will actually get nano detected. I'll, of course, demonstrate that as well, just so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. But this is all you're really going to do. We're going to go ahead and snap the ball, and right there we get 2 people very, very quickly. And again, these aren't even super fast linebackers. They're pretty quick, but you can get faster. Imagine an Ultimate Team, you get 99 speed guys sprinting off the edge, and you see just overall very quick. Again, with my user, you notice what I was kind of talking about is I want to just stand here just for a split second, then I can start using. So you see I stand there for a split second. What happens is these guys kind of shift to that left-hand side. And mainly what that's going to add is it's just going to free up Leon Jacobs coming off the edge. You see really nothing happens on this left side because they will forward shift to the left. It just seems like right off the bat this defensive tackle does a good job in getting Andrew's attention as the center spot, and just because the linebacker is quick, he's going to be able to outrun him. You get 2 people there. Here it is in real time. You snap the ball. No route really developed. You're going to need gunslinger. You're going to have to make a very hot read. And these aren't even the perfect adjustments to stop a trips tight end play in particular. So you can see how this would be very difficult and a headache to beat. I'll actually show right here just what it looks like when I contain. We're going to set up the defense the same way. And you don't have to press your defensive backs if you don't want to. I just feel like it's going to help. It's going to put some pressure on the offensive player, just seeing everybody down low in the box. The biggest thing is that you don't allow your cornerback to just get beat, and that's this guy. So I can, again, move him back a little bit. Maybe I move my safety off the ball a little bit, but for the most part, we're going to keep everything kind of constant with this blitz. We want to give him the exact same look, and you'll see that when we run the bluff blitz, that we're going to keep the exact same look, just change up the adjustments. But let's go and contain now. We're going to contain. We're going to put our user on a spy once again. Same exact defense. We're going to snap the ball, and right there, it actually didn't work. Now, usually it'll work. I'm going to set it up again briefly just so you can see what it would work. Maybe that had something to do with my user. Maybe I kind of backed off a little bit too early. And again, the user does have something to do with it. So you want to stand there a little bit briefly right here. Now we're going to, I guess, didn't even get through again, but usually he will get through. If he does get through, he will get nano detected. You see with Jacobs, I believe he got nano detected. Yes, he did. Or he just got this slow contain animation. So a lot slower. And you can even see potentially less effective there. I'm actually going to try and set it up one more time. Not sure why it's working, or why it's not working rather. So I just want to set it up one more time. Hopefully we can get it to actually work here. So we're snapping the ball, and there you see, well, I guess it did work with the contain. It usually has a decent work to not work ratio. I mean, you can get it to work with the contains. The contains just don't really add anything. You saw from the first play, it looked identical to that. We'll snap it again there, and you see he gets stopped again. So take it how you want it. Contains a little bit worse. I think you can tell that. I just wanted to show that so you could actually understand why I'm saying we are not QB containing. But let's go back to the blitz. Let's run it a couple more times. You can see a lot more effective when I do with this, and it saves me an adjustment as well. Another thing that you can actually add to the blitz is just shading over the top. Of course, when the soft squats are adjusted, they're going to play the same as a flat, so it doesn't really make much of a difference other than the clad flats should run back a little bit further. Again, in a blitz standpoint, that doesn't have as much of an effect as if you were dropping 9, but it still is something that I wanted to mention. So we're going to go ahead, snap the ball again here, just kind of hover, and we did get blocked. For whatever reason, we got a nano detection on that right side. I wasn't even contained, so you can see the game just kind of recognized it as an actual nano blitz. But, I mean, it is what it is, so we'll set it up again. I'm not sure why all of a sudden it wasn't working, but it is what it is. Again, at the end of the day, even if you don't get that guy coming through every time, which I was getting him through, it's perfectly fine because you have that other player coming off the edge. So it's not the biggest deal in the world. And again, if you're running a blitz every play, you're doing it wrong. You don't want to run a blitz every single down. You want to just consistently mix it up. With blitz, you have to be very timely in when you're doing it. Of course, you'll have players that blitz every single down. That gives it away. That allows you to set up your play to perfectly beat their defensive setup. And that's not what you want as a defensive player. So that's something that I want to mention. There you see it again. Miles Jack coming off the edge. He did have a little bit of a weird animation. Looks like we might have actually had to disengage as well. But again, he still got there the exact same time as Leon Jacobs. I think we did get a disengage, which we did. So our D tackle, big guy up the middle, was able to get that disengage. But let's actually hop into some new coverage adjustments, and then we'll get into the bluff blitz. So we're going to set everything up the same. But for this particular play, we're just going to mix up these two players. And what I like to do against trips is just simply man them up. We're just going to man up these two players. Usually you'll expect what you will expect against a trips tight end look when someone is sending heat. I like to spread the field out. So what I would do is set up something kind of like this. Of course, with my user, I'm going to run straight to the left and kind of try and lurk him a little bit. So we're going to snap the ball, and we're just going to go ahead, lurk right off the bat. And you see pretty solid coverage. Of course, I can adjust my zone drops in this case. Really, the biggest thing that beats you is maybe like a slant to hitch combo. It's going to be a difficult read for him to make, though. So I'll show you just on offense how I would probably go about beating this. I would probably just go with something kind of basic, something maybe like this. I would just test him out, streak X. We have that little corner out, just a little baby slant. This is going to put a little bit of stress on the user. And overall, it should beat it pretty well. You see right there, we get the ball off quickly, and that's what the biggest problem can be. Again, you can get 99 speed linebackers in the Ultimate Team, but you see how they have to kind of snap ball. They don't have time to read the field at all. They have to look at their first read, either get rid of the ball or hope that their second read's open and throw it regardless, or they're taking a sack. So we'll set this up just one more time, the same setup, and then we'll hop into the Bluff Blitz just because I don't want to keep you waiting for too long. But again, I can press with this. Even though your corner's on the far outside, he's going to do a good enough job at defending that. And again, they're going to have to get the ball off quickly. So even if he's blocked, he'll kind of act as a spy, defend short routes, things of that nature. There you see it. Again, those players both coming off the edge. It's very rare that they both wouldn't, or that he would get blocked. It would be something with your user where you just kind of sprint off. But anyways, let's hop into our Bluff Blitz. And what I'm actually going to do is adjust our zone drops. I'm going to adjust my flats to 25 yards. Like I mentioned, we went ahead and adjusted those flats to 25 yards. You can go to 20 if you prefer that. We also set our curl flats to 5 yards. So we're going to set up a double Mabel type look. Of course, when you're running a Bluff Blitz, you have to set up the exact same way. I am more likely to leave this guy a little bit closer just because he's at 25 yards, so we should be able to run back. Pretty much what you're going to do is you're just going to put both outside linebackers in curl flats, B and Y, there. X is, of course, in a vertical hook, but I can put him in like an inside third, and this would pretty much be the way to run it. You got a 3-man rush, you have stock cover 3, you have a curl flats, you have cloud flats, and on offense, I don't know what he's doing, so maybe I block my running back. You know, I'm taking just an extra guy out of the play, and that can end up hurting you on offense a lot. You take out this running back, oh, now he's only rushing 3 people. Now I'm not in as good of a position, of course, just because of the route combo that I put out. I do have someone open, but typically, this would catch someone off guard, and usually against quick man coverage, you see, like I mentioned, they're going to go with the route combo like this. That probably doesn't work as well against a 3-man, 8-man, or 8 or 9-man drop into coverage. So again, I'm just putting Y in a curl flat, putting B in a curl flat. I also like to slant outside for this one just because we'll get better block sheds. If I want to, I can just play it like this. I think I can also throw a Bluff Blitz on the field, maybe. I think I can put Y on a Bluff Blitz. So if I want to, I can go with something like this, and then it would be pretty solid coverage. I would kind of lurk back on B. You see Y is covered well, and that's a curl flat. The curl flat defends the hitch pretty well. I do like how those outside linebackers drop into coverage, and overall, just a solid defense right there. So that's going to go ahead and do it. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, follow me on Twitter, and peace. I'm out of here.